Coming up in this episode, Shane Flanagan gets the head coach job at St George. England's newest winger signs a new deal at Leeds. And loanee in for Castleford Tigers. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. Well, it's a new day and we've got some new stories, and we start in the NRL this morning as Shane Flanagan is officially the next head coach of St George Illawarra Dragons after signing a new 3-year deal with the club. It means he will coach the club for at least the end of the 2026 season. The news confirmed by the club on Wednesday evening has progressed quickly after a board meeting yesterday determined that Flanagan was the right candidate to take over at the end of the year. Flanagan, who is currently on a 3-year deal as assistant coach at the Hanley Seagulls, will leave the North Beaches with Anthony Seibold and with the club's blessings at the same time. The appointment comes following the sacking of Anthony Griffin early in the year, who had a miserable 2.5 years in charge of the club, missing the finals in each of his first 2 chances, before losing 6 games on the bounce prior to his axing. Interim coach Ryan Carr has been in charge since round 12, and it's believed that he will return as assistant coach role at the club next season after spending the remainder of 2023 in the interim hot seat of head coach. Flanagan, who has had 2 previous stints at the Dragons as an assistant coach and a list manager, is a premiership winning coach from his time at Cronulla Sharks. But controversy followed due to the supplement scandal, which saw him initially suspended from rugby year for a year, a suspended sentence that was, and then to receive an indefinite deregistration in 2018 by the NRL for not following all the terms of the suspension. He was allowed back into rugby league under strict conditions in 2019, and then in 2022 was allowed to become part of a coaching setup again, this time returning to the Dragons. The move to Hanley followed ahead of this season. He now sits in the big chair at St George and said he was excited to return to the Red V. Flanagan said in a club statement released on Wednesday evening to confirm the news, "There is a fantastic opportunity at the Dragons to build something really special over the next few years. While the Seagulls will continue to have my full focus for the rest of this season, I also cannot wait to get started at the Dragons at the end of the season and work on returning the club to the finals where it belongs." Flanagan, who has already identified a number of areas the Dragons will need to reshape in, was unanimously agreed upon by the board, and Chairman Andrew Lancaster said they have full faith in his coaching abilities. The Dragons chairman Lancaster went on to say, "We have full faith in Shane's ability as a coach, and we're looking forward to welcoming back to the club. Shane has already added value in a role of head coach, given the club's deep, talented and emerging playing squad. Shane is well regarded within the club from his recent roles here, first as an assistant coach and then list management consultant. The time he previously spent with the club also gives him a high level of familiarity with our players, systems and pathways." We come to our next story, and the news is from Leeds, as England winger Hanley has committed his long-term future to the Rhinos after agreeing a new 3-year contract that will keep the 27-year-old at Hanley until at least the end of the 2026 Betfred Super League season. Hanley, who scored a hat-trick for England in the mid-season international, has been a mainstay of the Rhino squad since breaking through from the academy in 2014. He has now amassed 183 appearances for the club, scoring 107 tries so far. The former Oldham Raider Jr. commented, "It was a big decision for me, especially with a young family to think about now. It was important to take my time to make the right decision, and I'm delighted to be staying. I have been here all my career and I love this club. I want to be a part of it, and I want to help the club get back to where we want to be. I'm learning all the time, and that has helped me mature as a player. The club is one of the best in England for how they treat people, players, and everyone connected to the club, which makes it a real honour to be here for another 3 years. There is a great core group of players who care about getting the club back to where it wants to be, and I'm delighted to be still part of that." Leeds Rhinos head coach Rowan Smith also commented, saying, "I'm delighted that Ash has committed to a new contract with the club. He had 1 year remaining on his current deal, so it was good to have got his future sorted before he enters the final year of his contract. Ash is one of our leaders in the group and a vastly experienced player at Super League level. He loves the club and is a great role model for our younger players. He receives a well-deserved England call-ups to the squad this year, and I'm looking forward to even more with Ash in the years ahead." Hanley in his career so far has won 2 Super League Grand Finals, those in 2015 and 2017, as well as the Challenge Cup in 2020. He joined the rest of his squad in reaching the Grand Final in 2022, and he's hoping to help the club reach the playoffs this year to try and get to another Old Trafford showpiece. I can't get my words out. Is this a good move for Leeds? Yeah, he's a quality winger. Is it a good move for Ash Hanley? We'll have to see. He's a one-club man and probably wants to stay that way, as he's seen many of his teammates from the last few years shipped out. Not sure they're going to win the playoffs this year, but they're certainly in the shout for reaching them. We'll have to see what comes of it, but for now, 3-year deal for Ash Hanley. And finally, we come to the news that Riley Dean is ready to compete regularly at Super League level, following his rest of the season long move from Castleford Tigers to Castleford Tigers from Warrington Wolves. The Warrington halfback, 21-year-old Dean, made his Super League debut with Warrington back in 2019 and has gone on to make a total of 10 appearances for the club so far, scoring 3 tries. He enjoyed an impressive long stint in the Championship with Featherstone in the first half of the current campaign, notching 5 tries in 11 appearances in the then unbeaten run for Sean Longside. The Halifax-born half was later recalled to feature against Lee in the Super League in round 13, falling to a 30-12 defeat at the Leeds Sports Village. Warrington, though, while allowing Dean to go out, will have a 2-week recall option, and Dean will be unable to face his parent club in their remaining 2 Super League games. Speaking on the move itself, Dean said, "I'm really excited to get going. I've just spoken to Andy Last and Danny Wilson, so I'm looking forward just to getting in and getting out on the field. I enjoyed my time at Featherstone this season, but this will be a good step up for me to play Super League. Playing more games in the top competition week in and week out will be good for my development. It will be good for my career long term, so hopefully I can play well. I've heard nothing but good things about Andy Last, so I hope we get on well, and have a good back end of the season. I want to put in some good performances and have a strong end of the year. Head coach Andy Last says his latest addition will allow players to return to their favourite positions, with Niall Evalds likely to have played his final game for the club following surgery on his pectoral tear. The one-time England international has also been linked with a move to Hull KR for 2024. The bad news continued before this move for Dean, as captain Paul McShane has been ruled out for up to 2 months after suffering a fractured forearm in the defeat to Salford last Friday, while Mane Fanua failed a head injury assessment in the side's 42-10 home loss. Positives though, Danny Richardson has recently returned to light training following his MCL and ACL injury, but is unlikely to feature in 2023. Outside back Elliot Wallace, who has recently suffered an injury to his back as well, and will see a specialist later this week. This coming after he did well in Newcastle against Leeds. Last, speaking on the move for Riley Dean, went on to say, Riley Dean is a quality player with some Super League and Championship experience, which will be invaluable for us until the end of the season. This signing will allow us to get Jack Broadbent in his preferred position of centre, which will help balance our team. Riley has a very good kicking game and the ability to open up defence with his short and long passing game. We are excited to have him on board. Dean himself has had 38 games across 6 clubs during his rugby league career since 2019. As we said, 10 games for Warrington, but he's had loan spells at York City Knights, Dewsbury Rams, Newcastle Thunder and the aforementioned Rovers during this 4-year spell. Will he be a difference to Castleford? Most definitely. It's an acting halfback and they haven't really got any. Sorry, a halfback, which they haven't got at this moment in time in the team. Yes, they have like the likes of Gareth Widdop and Jacob Miller in their side, but ball playing, kicking halfback. The other two I've mentioned before and are more runners with the ball. Break something off the back of good goal forward. Riley Dean, should I say, could become a goal forward leader. Could drive the impetus of Castleford going forward. He'll have to grow in the role, but for now, let's just see him play rugby league. Whatever happens, it will be a great benefit, I would say, for One Warrington Wolves. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode in the comment section below, as it's open for business and you, me and everyone besides can have a decent Discord about the state of affairs in rugby league. Tell me, is it a good deal for Castleford to bring Riley Dean in? Is Ash Hanley going to continue to be a go-forward machine for Leeds? And Jane Flanagan back in the NRL as a head coach. Who would have saw that coming 2 years ago? Hey. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. And I'll end the episode as I always do by wishing you all the very best. So please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.